Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we explore the depths of holistic health, uncovering the interconnectedness of our emotions, mind, body, and spirit. This podcast is dedicated to individuals who are on a quest to uncover their truth, understanding their genetic and spiritual DNA, and learning how to harness this knowledge to achieve optimal health. But this isn't just another health podcast. Natural Health Podcast is here to ignite a spark of hope within you, reminding you of your innate potential for greatness. You are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression. Are you ready to embark on a transformative journey to achieve optimal health? Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast. I'm so excited today. I'm back at it. This flow of this podcast is going to be different, and I'm just going to go with it. Like I said in my previous episode, is I'm just going to go with it and flow. What I thought about is, I'm going to try a different type of flow today. I'm going to talk a little bit about medical astrology, and then I'm going to go into a little bit of research stuff to give a bit of both ends. The two things that I love, spirituality, astrology, and science, right? Those two things. So you're in for a treat today that we're going to be talking about medical astrology. I want to start off with that. And I want to start off with Leo season. I know we're coming to the end of it, but we can't forget our beautiful Leos. Leo season starts July 22nd and it goes to August 22nd. So it's coming to the end of it, like I was saying, right? What I want to talk about is a little bit about Leo, the star sign. I'm not going to go into the astrology part. I'm going to go more the medical astrology. I'm going to talk about the health aspects, what we can expect during this season. And then I'm going to go into the other star signs as we go on. Virgo next month and so forth. This is going to be exciting because even if you are not a Leo, you're in the season of Leo. What that means is the sun is in Leo, which means the vitality, what is on you when you go for a walk in the morning, which I guess you all are. You're all going for walks in the morning to restart our circadian rhythm. But anyway, so we are in Leo season, which means that sun is on us. We are feeling the energy of the Leo, which means potentially we need to support our body to be able to be at its full vitality, right? The awesome thing about Leos is Leo's actually the strongest constitution of the zodiac sign. They are strong. They are fiery. They are feisty, and we love them, right? But medically talking, they have a very strong constitution, which means they don't actually really get sick that often, which is quite interesting. Most of the sicknesses or the disease that comes for a Leo is caused by, are you ready for it? Is the depletion of their heart energy. Oh, how cute is that, right? So it's got to do with things like fear of failure, not being loved, having a closed heart, keeping their heart closed. So it kind of comes from pain or past pain. And it's like, if we know a Leo or we are in Leo season, it's so important to keep our heart open. And this is where I'm going to talk about some herbs, so maybe I'll be able to assist with that. But when we're thinking about Leo season, we really want to keep our heart open, because when our heart is not open during Leo season, it can deplete our energy, which then it can essentially lead to disease, misalignments, and so forth. And these misalignments come up as anxiety, especially if for Leos. Anxiety is a huge one. Panic attacks, anxiety, heart issues, having your heart closed emotionally, but also physically having some type of heart issues. Sometimes even Leos get these hot flushes that come with the anxiety. That's such a Leo trait. The other thing is also heart palpitations. So kind of anything to do with the heart palpitations, the heartache, the closed heart, the blood. And this is where we kind of just want to give this Leo a hug and be like, you are loved, you are cared for, you are appreciated. And during this season, we want to give that to ourselves. So during Leo season, we want to tell ourselves, you are loved, you are cared for, you are not a failure, you are loved, and keep your heart open. And in some individuals, keeping your heart open looks very different. But in Leo season, one of the good ways to keep your heart open is through expression. They are such an expressive sign. It's all about creativity and expression. If that is drawing, if that is art, if that is music, if that is creating a podcast, if that is, which is quite interesting because I brought my podcast back during Leo season, and that's my creativity. So whatever your creativity is, during Leo season, you want to express that to keep your heart open so then your vitality doesn't drop and we don't get the anxiety. We don't get those panic attacks. We don't get those hot flushes. We don't get that heart palpitation because these are all the misalignments. So Leo actually rules the heart, which I've mentioned. It rules the spine, especially T3 and T4, which some people might be like, oh, that's been actually a bit sore in the last few weeks. The spleen, but also the blood, which is so interesting. The blood, when we think about the blood and we think about Leo, we go, should a Leo be vegan? Should a Leo be vegetarian? That's a controversial question because the Leo rules the blood, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be vegan, you shouldn't be vegetarian, how you should eat, but Leo energy needs blood, therefore it needs meat to thrive, to have its full vitality, which is quite interesting. So if you have any Leo placements, or you are a Leo, or during Leo season you felt a bit of lack of energy, it's like, how much meat did you eat? How did you feel? So that's quite interesting. And the other thing is, there's also, when we're looking at Leo, is with all of that anxiety and the heart, we want to look at magnesium foods. So to feed yourself through Leo season and be in full of vitality, we really want to ensure that we have enough magnesium in our bodies. I guess the first thing that people are thinking of is magnesium, chocolate, yes, yum. But it's also found in like leafy greens, cacao. I love a really, really good quality magnesium supplement. And you can talk to your naturopath or your healthcare practitioner that you have, so you can find a really good magnesium that suits you, because there's like so many different types. I could do a whole another episode on all the different types of magnesiums, but we'll just leave it there for now. So in regards to, that's kind of like the food-wise what we want to do during Leo season. But then it's kind of like, what activities can we do to keep that heart open, to keep that vitality up? Because like I said, they are the strongest constitution in the zodiac sign, which is absolutely amazing. Unless their heart is closed, or unless their heart has been hurt and they've decided to close it emotionally. So keep that heart open, Leos. The thing that we want to do to assist with vitality is we want to have blood-nourishing foods. We want foods that nourish our blood. We also want to avoid heating up too many things, because Leo is a fire sign already. So it's already got that fire, unless it's diminished. But we're talking about as it is it's already got that beautiful fire going on. We kind of really want to avoid, minimize is stimulating foods and drinks. So if during Leo season, you really don't want to have too much coffee, you don't want to have those energetic drinks or stimulants that just go, because it's kind of going to deplete the energy of a Leo or during Leo season. The foods that we really want to focus on is things like plums. Oh my gosh, think about the color of a plum. Think about when you bite into it, it kind of looks like blood vessels. It's magical, it's beautiful. Sugar beets, oats, cacao, there goes the magnesium, cabbage, oranges, lemons, lettuce. These are all types of foods that are going to allow you to thrive during Leo season, allow you to keep your heart open, allow you to be connected. The thing that the other day I was in the shower, I know you want to hear about me having showers, but I was in the shower and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this podcast? Okay, I want to talk about medical astrology a little bit, but what else am I going to do? How am I going to ensure that I'm able to get the energy to you in the best way that I possibly can? And it came to me, I was like, I'm going to make myself a astrology herbal mix every season. So I went to the local herbal pharmacy, which has all these beautiful, beautiful herbs on its shelf. And I decided to do a bit of research, be like, okay, what herbs are Leo herbs, are ruled by the sun, because that's what Leo is ruled by. And I came up with a cute little herbal mixture for myself. And I know it's Leo season finishing soon, so I've only got about a week for it. And what I included in there is some beautiful herbs that are ruled by the sun and support Leo, which mainly support the heart, the blood. So I've put in here chamomile. Oh my gosh, wow. Chamomile is just, it helps all other zodiac signs. And we'll talk about that through the months as we go on. But chamomile is like, honestly, my favorite herb, my absolutely favorite herb. And it's so simple. It's like, what? Chamomile tea is like magical? Yeah, it is. It's got the mind, like stomach connection. It's calm, yet it's powerful. But anyway, I could do a whole episode on chamomile. The other one is hawthorn and motherwort. These two are absolutely beautiful heart tonics. They support our heart as herbs. They support the flow of blood through our heart. They support the rhythm of our heart, because as I said, with Leo season, anxiety is a huge one, and that's also what chamomile helps with, is anxiety. And then hawthorn and motherwort. And then I put in rosehip in there. It's usually rose that's a herb for Leo, but rosehip is the color. I decided the color is just so beautiful and magical, and it's kind of like blood color. And I was like, this is going to support the blood. And then in there, I put a bit of skullcap, which is for the nervous system. So I've been taking this herbal mixture, and I thought through this, even though I personally am not a Leo sun, but through this Leo season, this herbal tincture is going to support my vitality whilst this beautiful Leo sun is shining on me as we walk through this life, this path that we're all going through. So if you are a Leo, or you know a Leo, or you know, it would be a smart, or it would be a good investment to make yourself a herbal mixture, herbal tincture that's able to support you through the time that you're supposed to shine the brightest. And that's the other thing is with Leo season is we are here to shine our brightest. And if we're not feeling well, if our vitality is not to its full maximum, how are we supposed to shine? How are you going to shine in whatever it is that you do? If you are a mother and you're looking after children, how are you going to shine for those kids, for yourself? If you are a business owner, how are you going to shine for your business, for your employees, for yourself? If you are just a human being and soul and individual, how are you going to shine your brightest through this Leo season? Think about that. Or how have you, because we're coming to the end of it, how have you been shining your brightest? And then comes next year, when Leo season comes up again, it's like, wow, how can I shine my brightest? Well, first of all, I need to be healthy. I need to look after me. I need to be the healthiest version of myself. And I'm just giving you another aspect that you can look at, is putting herbs into your everyday life, into your supplement list to raise your vitality. So that's kind of what I wanted to get across in regards to the medical astrology. A bit of a summary: Leo is the strongest constitution in the star signs. Absolutely amazing. However, the weakness is when they close their heart, and that's when disease comes about. That's when uncomfortableness comes about. So it's all about keeping that heart open, letting that creativity flow, so you're able to be creative and allow it to flow through you, so you are able to have vitality, right? And then we spoke about, the whole concept of being a vegan or vegetarian if you are a Leo or have Leo placements, or throughout Leo season. Some people do those 30-day vegan fasts or 30-day carnivores. It's kind of like, if I had a choice, not that I'm saying being carnivore is amazing or that I'm saying being vegan is awesome or putting any one of them down, they all have their place. But Leo season probably would be the best season to go carnivore for 30 days. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. But anyway, so that's kind of what I wanted to bring across. So next time I'll talk about Virgo, which is a whole different vibe. My little cute little Virgos, love them. So that's what I wanted to share about Leo season. And I'm going to finish off my herbal tincture of Leo and then move into Virgo. So the other aspect of Natural Health Podcast, as you know, is science. I love science. I love research. I love that there's individuals out there doing so much amazing work and publishing these amazing research and doing these experiments to better our health. And how can I not include that in Natural Health Podcast and honor it, right? So what happened is lately, one of my close friends was going through a bit of a traumatic experience. And I was like, okay, how can I best support her going through this traumatic experience, or how can she be best supported going through a traumatic experience? And then I thought, okay, what are some things that you need to do or need to have in a traumatic experience to be able to process it? Number one thing is community. Absolutely. Sleep. Oh my gosh, sleep is like, I know a lot of people can't really sleep that well when they are going through traumatic experiences, but it is so important to sleep. And then, I was thinking, so many supplements we can talk about, magnesium, B vitamins, and then there's like so many herbs like chamomile, even skullcap, that we can, calm the nervous system. And then one of my other friends mentioned a research study that someone else looked into, and it had to do with playing games. And I was like, what? Playing games to help people with trauma? So I jumped on it straight away. I was like, I need to know more about this. And I found the research study. I found the research. I'm going to pull it up right now. There we go. I'm going to pull it up right now. And it's actually got to do with, it's in the Journal of Psychiatry and Neuroscience. And the title is Trauma Treatment and Tetris. Video gaming increases hippocampal volume in male patients with combat-related post-traumatic stress disorder. And this study was done in 2020. So pretty recent, right? I know you're like, okay, it's only for males, but let's just look at this study and then we can talk about the broader aspect of it. So the background says here is Tetris has been proposed as a preventative intervention to reduce intrusive memories of traumatic events. Crazy, right? So what they did is they looked at patients with existing post-traumatic stress disorder and seeing how playing Tetris can potentially impact their brain structure. This is mind-blowing. I mean, let's talk a little bit about Tetris. I mean, hello there, 90s, 90s kids, even younger, no, 80s, 90s kids. Do you remember playing Tetris and being like, this is like the best thing ever? I remember on my Game Boy and being like, oh my gosh, yes, look at that, get those squares in there, oh my gosh. And it's like, it just makes you think, but it also calms you. I mean, back in those days, there was no scrolling. So Tetris was the way. Tetris, the game was actually created in 1984. It's a classic video game. It's got, I don't know if you don't know about it, it's got to do with like these bricks. I think they're bricks, and then they're falling and you got to put them into a shape, and then once you get the line, it goes doo-doo-doo. I don't even know if that's the sound, but anyway, it's kind of a little bit addictive. I bet you all of you are like, after this episode, I'm going to download Tetris and I'm going to play because I'm going to heal my trauma. So what they actually looked at is the end outcome of this study was that the evidence suggests that Tetris used alongside EMDR physiotherapy may enhance outcomes for those with PTSD. Participants who played Tetris not only continue to show reduced anxiety and a trend towards reduced depression at a 6-month follow-up, but also experienced an increased hippocampal volume. That is amazing. And this increase in this hippocampal volume was linked to sustained improvement in PTSD, depression and anxiety symptoms. So that means this study concluded that Tetris could help maintain and assist with trauma response. That blew my mind. And it's interesting because when you think about going through a traumatic experience, whatever it is, if it's sudden, a lot of people don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about it. They're just in their head. And I mean, if you just say, hey, like, I'm not telling you what to do, or like, this isn't advice. This is clearly talk to your healthcare provider or whoever you're working with. But if someone goes, here's a Tetris game, and you're sitting there and you're playing it, and it kind of, I think from reading the study, it was kind of saying that the memories, or what your brain is trying to memorize of that traumatic event, gets kind of overlapped with you trying to win this game of Tetris, which kind of makes sense. And it's like, you've been through a traumatic experience, and then you're sitting there or laying there or whatever you're doing and playing Tetris. It's kind of calming also, because there's no external like scrolling, there's no people faces that you see, there's no words you hear, there's no sounds that can distract you. It's just you in that game and just trying to solve it. And it's magical. I love that they provided me with this research study and I was able to dig deeper into it. So hopefully, if you know someone that may be going through a traumatic experience, or you yourself ever go through a traumatic experience, what about the thought of downloading Tetris and jumping on it and playing a Tetris game to help your brain deal with the trauma that you may have been exposed to? So that kind of concludes today's episode, where I shared a bit about Leo season. I shared a little bit about the science of trauma in games, which just blew my mind. And look, I'm going to see how I go with this outline of this podcast, see if you like it, see if you can resonate with it. I love it because it's putting my two favorite things of spirituality and science together and combining them. And if I ever come across anything else that I want to share with, this is the episodes that I want to share it with. So I'm doing solo episodes where I just talk and share information with you. And then I'm also doing episodes where I'm interviewing amazing guests who share their knowledge and their experience in their field to get you to achieve optimal health. Like, how blessed are we to do that? Thank you for joining us on Natural Health Podcast. And remember that you are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression.
Content and information provided here is opinion of Mahela Raguse and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mahela Raguse does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. Under no circumstances shall the Natural Health Podcast, Mahela Raguse, any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mahela Raguse be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Health Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting a doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Health Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mahela Raguse nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in educational content.